We're back, baby.
Yeah. And like Fernandez says, it's a good morning to Spurs fan and Spurs fan only.
That's right, man. You gonna sign some apology forms anytime soon, Joe? What
For
record do
what?
the Spurs need to have in order to sign a
For
Wemby
what?
apology form?
Not signing a damn thing.
They don't need him to go off for 40 points, dude. That's the thing. They don't need him to be SGA. They don't need him to be Giannis. They just need him to go out there and do his role.
He just needs to be consistent. That's all I said.
And he has been.
No.
Good game last night.
He had a good game last night, against the Suns.
No Dylan Brooks, man. No problem. He feasted down low. Luke Cornett was feasting down low. That was nice.
Yeah, but in the absence of, one player. But I mean, it's not like Dylan Brooks wouldn't have been like the deal killer, like he would have been in there and made a dramatic impact. That Suns team was done, dude. It's Friday and we don't give a damn. Thank you, Mario Cavazos, for joining us.
All right, let me tweet out that the show started.
Wemby great killer. No mames. Happy Friday, guys. Check that. Better not be short. And that check better not be short. Sean Quintero says, talking about our one done Spurs today, Joe. It's like Gilbert Arenas. Where's the lie? Where was the lie that he said? What's up, Cuts by Jones in the house? Have Albert Lopez. Matt Gomez, thank you for joining. Sohan already destroying the Knicks. Oh, man.
Let's get this going. We're rising together on a victory Friday as the Spurs beat the living crap out of the Phoenix Suns in Austin last night, 121-94. We're going to break down last night's game, see if Joe is ready to sign the apology form for Victor Wembanyama. Great game for the Spurs. Spurs moved to 39-16 on the season, now 2.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference, solidifying ourselves as the 2 seed as each game goes by. We have a very winnable game tomorrow against Sacramento, so things are looking good for the Silver and Black. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. This is the Area 2.0 podcast powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera and Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. I've got my Steph Castle jersey on. Why? Because he was a big game. He had a big game last night against the Suns. Joe,
you readopted him?
I never disowned him, dude. I never disowned him.
You get the chancla, man. You flip-flop so much, you said, no, I'm done with him. He's trash. I like Harper better. What's wrong with Castle?
I was watching.
Now you're wearing a Castle jersey. No, Miss Mike.
I was watching the Iron Claw last night on Netflix, right? About the Von Erichs. And there's in there where the father says, the rankings for my kids are this, and he ranks his kids in order as to who his favorite is. And he goes, but then again, the rankings can change. That's what I'm doing. The rankings can change. But no, Harper had a good game too as well. It was a well-balanced attack for the Spurs last night as they go on and beat the Suns. We'll talk about the game last night. We have to free Nacho, apparently, man. Nacho, not allowed in the stadium.
No, bro.
You know what? They didn't let him in. Jackal, the infamous
They
Jackal.
didn't let him in his Nacho gear. No, say it ain't so. They sent him home, and this son of a bitch didn't even have extra clothes in the car. So I drove home back to San Antonio. Bro, go get you some clothes in Austin. That's a poor mentality, bro.
Go buy a t-shirt, baby. Go buy that XXX t-shirt. There's got to be one somewhere. So we'll get into that as well. Because
you know what? They didn't let him into the Moody Center. You know what I said? Good.
Jeremy Sohan had his debut last night in New York, trying to stop Cade Cunningham, which is next to impossible. Cade Cunningham. Spurs play the Pistons on Monday night on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be a nationally televised game. So excited about that. So lots to get into. Rule changes potentially in the NBA to try to prevent tanking. ESPN's reporting that the heads of all these teams are trying to debate what they can do, and they have some proposals on the table. We're going to go through every single proposal to see which one looks good. Because you know what? these proposals wouldn't have allowed the Spurs to get Wemby, Harper, and Castle in back-to-back years. So we'll get into that, Joe. But last night, Spurs beat the living crap out of the Phoenix Suns, really blew it open in the second quarter. It was a great balanced attack led by Stefan Castle. Stefan Castle with a big night last night. He had 20 points on 8 of 11 shooting. Victor Wembanyama was 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks and 4 assists. He broke a record, Joe, for most most games with 5 blocks before the age of 22, a record that belonged to Shaquille O'Neal. Wemby broke that record last night, and on top of that, he still has like 40 or 50 games to go before he turns 22. So he'll hold on to that record for quite some time. But you're looking at the stats right now. Castle with 20 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. Wemby with 17, 11, and 5. Dylan Harper got 17 points. De'Aaron Fox with 15, 8 assists. Devin Vassell and Luke Cornett also in double digits. I'm going to tell you what I liked about last night's game, Joe. I liked the intensity in the game last night where Cornett didn't want to be pushed around. Harper did not want to be pushed around. There was a point in the game, I believe it was late in the second quarter, when one of the Suns players tried to step up to Castle, and Castle just looked at him. Like, what are you going to do? Didn't take a fighting stance or anything like that. It was just like, what are you going to do? It is things like that,
Castle
Joe.
said, let him go. He ain't going to do shit. Let him go.
It's moments like that, Joe, that I think to myself, maybe they do have that playoff gear intensity.
Maybe that's why they didn't need Sohan. They already have their next dog out there.
Yeah,
Castle.
It was great because that guy started jawing at him, and it was very reminiscent of Tim Duncan just staring down Kevin Garnett and what are you gonna do about it?
He gave him the same look that Chica does when you embarrass her in public, Mike.
But Castle did that, and then there was that play, I believe it was late in the second quarter, where Cornett's playing defense, gets struck in the face. Man, they called it originally a foul on Cornett. Then they reviewed it and then they reversed it. They called it an offensive foul. Next play, Cornett takes it to the hoop for a dunk. It's things like that where Cornett's not there going, oh, my nose. What does he do? He gets the ball and dunks it on the very next play, dude. Just 20 seconds later, he's ball through the hoop. Castle standing his ground, not cowering away from somebody who stepped up to him. Harper did the exact same thing. Wemby being more aggressive and trying to draw fouls. I mean, they didn't call every foul that he tried drawing, but he tried to be more aggressive out there. All in all, Joe, this is a game that we talk about that you need to put away these teams. And Phoenix isn't a bad team. I know they were without Dylan Brooks, but Phoenix is a team that will be in the play-in or the playoffs.
No.
They're a team that we might actually play in the first round. And the Spurs toyed with them, and it didn't get close. The Spurs didn't mess around. They didn't get up by 15, 20 points and then lose the lead. The Spurs kept it on full throttle, and by the fourth quarter, none of the starters were needed. It was a great game for the Spurs. The Spurs getting closer and closer to Oklahoma City Thunder, Joe. And I know you don't believe it, Joe. I know you're not a believer in the Spurs catching the 1 seed, but I'm saying that it's a chance.
Don't do that, Miguelito, man. Don't give them that false hope, man.
Well, Oklahoma City's lost 6 out of 11.
Don't do that, Mike. Don't do
Oklahoma
that.
City's has lost 6 out of 11. The Spurs have won 8 out of the last 11. The Spurs have won, 9 out of the last 12? I'm just saying. And then the Spurs have who they have this week? They got Sacramento this weekend.
You know what?
It's not false hope. It's gone from being like a 1% chance to a 5% chance. So I think a legit 30% chance that the Spurs go get that 1 seed. So that doesn't mean that they are in the driver's seat to get it, Joe. But 30% chance is better than the 1% chance they had 2 weeks ago. It's trending in the right way. What is wrong with Oklahoma City? Why have they lost 6 out of 11 games? If they are truly the best team in the NBA, you can't go 5-6 in an 11-game stretch.
You know why? They done been found out, Mike. They've been found out. And the thing is with OKC, there are a lot of free throw merchants out there, right?
Yeah.
Flopping, getting to the stripe. And when you kind of take that away from them and you really pressure them and you really start playing physical defense on them and take away kind of what they like to do, run in the open court, go one-on-one, ISO ball, that kind of stuff. And you play a zone on them. You get physical. You start beating them up. And you start giving them a taste of their own medicine. If they're going to flop, you flop as well and go ahead and get the offensive foul calls going your way.
Mm-hmm.
It makes
they're not as tough as they portray themselves to be.
It makes the playing field level. right? It's an even playing field at that time. Not to take discount OKC, they're a good team, but I'm just saying if you play them physical and you kind of take away things that they like to do, it makes it harder for them to score. And in that case, then it becomes like, okay, what are we going to do now? Are they going to just let Shy go off there for him? 50 points, but the rest of the team sucks.
Right.
You know,
that's a way to play certain teams. They used to do that to Kobe back in the day. Just let him go off
yeah,
and let him get his points, and then just clamp down everybody else. I think you're right. They did get found out. It's been an 11-game stretch where they have just been bad. Over the last month and a half, they've basically been a 500 team or slightly above 500. They got found out because you can rough up Oklahoma City. You can actually outrun them. They give the appearance, Joe, when they have SGA and Caruso and Williams on, they give the appearance that they're faster than everybody else because they're younger than everybody else. But that's not really the case. The Spurs have shown in 4 out of 5 games this year that the Spurs can outpace them, that they can outrun this Oklahoma City team. And I think other teams have found out, hey, wait a minute. They're not they're a very good team. They're the NBA champions, the defending champions that should be respected as such.
Yeah.
But they're not some juggernaut that's unbeatable, is what we're saying.
They're not. And there was a podcast I saw, like a clip from, and they were saying that this season's version of OKC, there's some kinks, that they're showing in the armor there, that they're more beatable this season than they were last season. And I think that's a true testament to saying how good the rest of the Western Conference has gotten, right? It's very competitive now, and you're seeing the rise of these teams and their players starting to gel together, and now all the teams are starting to look a little more crisp, Mike, as they start getting ready for the postseason, because now every game is going to get more intense. I think there was even a excerpt that I saw where I think it was Stefan Cass or it was Devin Vassell. One of them was talking to the media, and they had said, or it was Darren Fox, I believe, and they were saying that they can now tell that when they go up against teams in the NBA, like especially some of the better teams, they're getting the best version of that team because they're giving them all that they can give them because they're really playing them tough.
Well, there's a target on their back. There's a target on their back.
Good.
There's a target on the Spurs' back. There's a target on Oklahoma City's back. And to some extent, there might need to be a target on the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons now 41-13 after beating the Knicks last night, 126-111. They beat the Knicks by 15. They beat Toronto by 18. They went on the road and beat Charlotte, who's a really up-and-coming team, beat them by 6. They beat New York by 38 before the All-Star break. They beat Denver by 3. They beat Brooklyn by 53 points, Joe. Yeah. This Detroit team, Cade Cunningham led. I'm sorry, everyone's saying that SGA needs to be the MVP. Why? Take a look at what the Pistons are doing. And the Spurs play their only game in Detroit this upcoming Monday. I'm super excited about Monday night's game. That's a battle of heavyweights. It's a battle of 2 franchises that were in the lottery just recently. Spurs were in the lottery this past year, but Detroit was along with them. Detroit having that turnaround season. I know you're talking about how teams need to have their bumps and bruises and go along the way and have the agony of defeat along the way and the challenges and the overcome adversity and all that stuff. But Detroit looks like they don't want any part of that either, just like the Spurs. They are mirror images of each other in the fact that they're both years ahead of them of where they're supposed to be. And they have the right draft picks along the way, getting the right moves, getting the right players. The Pistons, Joe, are a scary team. And I will say this right now, the Pistons are the best team in the NBA.
You think so?
Yeah.
Their record tells us so, right?
I mean, numbers that never lie, man. They're hot, Joe. That is a hot team. And they don't have very many weaknesses. Last night they played the Knicks, and they toyed with the Knicks. They beat the Knicks by 15 on the road. Cade Cunningham, dude, 42 points on 17 of 34 shooting. He had 34 shot attempts, Joe. 17 of 34, goes out to beat the Sohan-led New York Knicks. And I say that jokingly. But look at this team, Joe. Tobias Harris, Duncan Robinson, Cade Cunningham, Osar Thompson. This is not a roster, Joe, that should be going off with the second best record in the league. Osar Thompson, the not as talented version of the Thompson twins, because Amen plays for the Rockets.
Yeah.
Ron Holland, Green, Karis LeVert. This is just a team of junkyard dogs, Joe. That's all it is. I mean, they have one superstar in Cade Cunningham. They've got a shooter in Duncan Robinson, and the rest are just a bunch of veteran dogs that they're throwing out there
Just a bunch of scrubs, Mike.
They're not scrubs. They're not scrubs. They're just a bunch of really good players. It's like throwing out there a bunch of Robert Ory's and Boris Diaz. It's like a superstar with 8 Robert Ory's and 3 Boris Diaz, dude. That's what that team is. But they're very good role players.
Yeah.
They're very, very good role players. That's the difference, man.
There's just some highlights.
Jalen Duren's really good also.
Game. Yeah, I'm just showing some highlights from the game. Keep in mind that this was being played in Austin over in the Moody Center. And I heard some complaining that, about the fans being outside the arena, unable to get in because I guess they were taking a long time to let people in. But that's why you get early in case things like this happen, right?
Well, they have to understand that it's not an NBA facility. The Moody Center is for college basketball.
Yeah, it is, so they probably just have, an entrance that you got to come in and go out of. There's not several entrances like there is over here at the Frost Center. You have the other VIP entrances plus the main entrance. And little known hack here for you all that don't know, you don't always have to wait in line with the peasants, even if you have the cheap seats, because at a certain time they allow everyone to go in through all entrances. So you don't have to stand in line forever. You can go to the Southeast VIP or any of the VIP entrances. And if it's 7 o'clock and they're like, the doors all open at 7, you can go in 10 minutes in line, 5 minutes in line over there at the VIP. Boom, scan your card, your ticket, you're in.
Well, Joe, since you're following the Spurs Twitter page right now, somewhere on there, and I just retweeted it, Wemby brought out the drum.
Oh, I saw that. El Wembeyazo.
There let's see this. Let's see this.
You want to hear it?
Yeah. Awesome. How we feeling?
I don't know if you've heard about it or if you've seen it, but we would like to introduce a little tradition from San Antonio. So everybody, please spread your arms. Everybody spread your arms. Be ready to clap.
I'll do it for Spurs Nacho since he wasn't there, Mike.
It's harder than it seems. Oh, here comes Joe. Here comes.
You got your cardio going, Mike. There we had to do it because they had on Spurs Nacho Entrada, dude. They said, "No, bro, you good." They took a look at him.
So
you know what he says?
Let's talk about that. Let's go to Spurs Nacho's Twitter account right now. Spurs Nacho, who I got to meet the other day, seems like a nice enough guy. I met him in Houston when the Spurs took on the Rockets there at the Toyota Center. Spurs
What's
Nacho,
his handle, man.
It's Spurs Nacho. Just so we have the words coming directly from him. So if you want to show his profile picture so people know who Spurs Nacho is, the profile pic basically shows that he goes dressed.
Show his face, bro.
he goes dressed as Nacho Libre, right? So his panza sticking out. He's wearing the cape, but apparently he was not allowed to go inside the Moody Center. They basically said,
"No, bro."
He says that I quote, drove up to the Moody Center in Austin, had my costume and cape on with my jackal bling. Some Moody employee ran up to me right as I was about to go through security and said that my costume was not permitted. He took a picture of me and his superiors said no. So Nacho was shown the door. Now, did he really say that he didn't go to a truck, to his car and get a clothes?
He couldn't go because he said all he had was workout clothes. Nacho, bro. Come on, bro.
Was workout clothes? Are you serious?
Clothes. Yeah, dude.
What kind of grown man goes dressed like that to an athletic event without a change of clothes?
Look,
are you gonna wear them on the drive home? Are you gonna be driving back to San Antonio? Stop at Buc-ee's in your Nacho gear.
So look at all I had in my car were sweaty gym clothes.
I just drove home. Like you couldn't go to Walmart,
dude. That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, come on, man. Just wear the stretchy pants. Take off the leotard, dude. Like,
This is the stop the cap moment, dude. I mean, seriously, he's not embarrassed to wear the Nacho outfit, but he's more embarrassed to wear sweaty clothes. Yeah. Stop the cap, Joe. Stop the cap. Poor Matt Gomez with a great question here. But why didn't the other jackals help him out?
Left him on his own, dog.
Like, we don't know him. We don't know him.
Oh man, he drove home. Like, bro, you're already in Austin. Like,
You
you
got
can't go.
tickets.
You can't. They can't say, look, he can come with the compromise and be like, look, I'll take off all the gear and all that. Can I just leave it at the front desk and I'll pick it up later? Can I just go to the store real quick and just buy something from you?
Exactly.
Let me
Exactly.
get a Spurs shirt or jersey, whatever, man. I'll put it on. Boom,
Yeah,
done.
or just go down the street where because I've been to the Moody. There's UT gift shops all over the place. Go buy a UT t-shirt. They got your size,
Yeah.
baby. They got your size. They got your size.
Yeah, dude. It was funny, not funny, Por el Nacho.
But you know, it's
He drove
remind
all the
me
way
of.
out there.
Remember, Fernandez got banned from bringing the Spurs belt at one of the arenas. What arena was that? It was L.A.
The LA arenas, they wouldn't let him bring him in. Sacramento wouldn't let him, I don't think. The Staples Center didn't let him. They wouldn't let him
But
bring it over
Houston
there.
and Dallas were okay, man. So
Yeah.
good for them. Good for them.
Oh, we
Tony,
got an incoming.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to address. That was from Jason Garcia.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you, Jason, for the $4.99 super chat. He says, smash the like button. You do it with your pinky toe on a coffee table.
There you go, baby. I don't care how you do it. I don't care what body part you use. Just hit the like button. That
Hit
helps
the
the
like
brother out.
And then
Joe,
they'll make
great.
fun of us. They said our timing was horrible with the clap.
Hey, great stat involving Dylan Harper from the Spurs. Joe beat Dylan Harper. Last 8 games. Remember he hit that rookie wall?
Yeah.
He hit the rookie wall in January. Kind of didn't play well, but in February, 8 games.
Yeah, I remember. Spurs fans calling him out.
14.6 points per game off the bench. 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Shooting 62% from the field. 73% from twos, 33.3% from threes. And the average plus minus of him on the court for a game is plus 11.4. Dylan Harper was the number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NBA draft. He's not going to be first team All-NBA because you're going to see players like Cooper Flagg, Con Knipple, Jeremiah Fears all be All-NBA first team. But I still want Dylan Harper on this team. I still believe that Dylan Harper is going to be a future All-Star. It just shows how good of a draft that was. Joe, I looked at it last night. There are 11 rookies averaging 10 points or more this year. 11 in double figures. He will make a second-team All-NBA rookie team, but this is going to be a slower burn for him because he has De'Aaron Fox in front of him. If there was no De'Aaron Fox and you threw out Dylan Harper would be averaging 17, 18, 19 points per game. He has the ability to do so. But his basketball IQ is so wonderful and so great. There was one play he did in the third quarter yesterday where the ball looked like it was going out of bounds, and he Mr. Gadgeted that ball back onto the court and put it in for a putback.
Damn,
Dylan Harper is just the truth, man. Just the
Miguel
absolute truth.
Wembeyaso. I was excited. I'm looking at the highlight of Wembeyaso. There he goes.
Yeah. I know 17 points is probably disappointing for a lot of Spurs fans in Austin because he didn't go off for 35 or 40. He was trying to. Those threes weren't falling for him yesterday. But he didn't. It wasn't needed. It wasn't needed. This is a true team effort. And my God, Lou Cornette had himself a game.
That was a hell of a putback by Cornette. That putback dunk, dude.
I mean, 10 points, 9 rebounds for Cornette last night. Looking pretty good.
Big elote.
These highlights brought to you by FanDuel Network.
Look at that. That's amazing, that give and go action that they got there with him.
That was 30 seconds before he got popped in the face, or after he got popped in the face.
That chingazo.
Yeah, he just came back down the court, baby.
There's Dylan Harper. That's what you're talking about.
Mr. Gary, look at this play. Look at this play.
Whoop, whoop.
That right there. That was a Mr. Gadget play. Like his right arm. How did this not go out of bounds?
Go gadget arms. And there's your boy. Oh, he found the Wembeyaso.
Mm-hmm. These are all nice to watch, Joe.
Did you see?
These
And
look
at what happens when they set the tone early, right? They go in, they put the opposing team on their heels because they build a big lead, right? They don't need a lot of production out of Wemby. He gets to rest. He gets to be fresh for the next game. And that's good. That's what you want to see. But they have to come out of the gate and set that tone. They have to play with high energy because, like De'Aaron Fox was saying, the other teams are going to come out and the Spurs got, a target on their back. They want to beat them and they want to embarrass them. So they have to be ready from here on out. They can't just go in there being like, "Oh, I'm really not feeling it tonight." That's not going to work, man.
It's not, but that's the beauty of the Spurs this year, and that's what we were not expecting. We were expecting when the season started that Wemby would take that generational leap and be the generational player, and everybody else would fall in line. We did not expect this to be a Swiss Army knife of a team where it's like, pick your poison. Which one's going to beat you tonight? Is it going to be Wemby? Wemby can go off. Is it going to be Fox? Is Fox can go off? He's an all-star now. Again, a two-time all-star. Is it going to be Castle, the rookie of the year from last year? Is it going to be Harper slicing and dicing you? Is it going to be Champagny going off for 7 3-pointers? Is it going to be Barnes going off for 5 3-pointers? That is the beauty of this team. And that's why I have more confidence and faith in this team going into the playoffs, because if it was all about Wemby, then the bumps and bruises can be there. But Keldon coming in and assuming his role and being a potential 6th man of the year recipient. Devin Vassell going back and forth between the starting lineup and the bench and being okay with it. Getting rid of Sohan and his type of play. These are all good things, Joe. There's a lot of positives involving the Spurs. They're deeper than what most people think. And they're a fun team to watch, and they don't need to rely on Wemby so much. And speaking of Wemby, by the way, this interesting post that I saw, we were talking about this yesterday, about how Wemby has so much money on the line right now because he's going to sign his extension in the offseason. And there's like a
252.
There's like a $50 million difference between him winning Defensive Player of the Year and not. They cannot load manage him. He could only miss like 3 or 4 games the rest of the year. But it's a difference of $50 million for him to not get that accolade in his name. It's crazy, Joe.
Look, I'm going to show you something here too. It's an excerpt I saw. It was posted on the X by Matt Guzman, who's also a beat writer here for the Spurs, follows them too. Look what he was saying. He says, Steph Castle on the Spurs' recent success. It said, especially against teams lower in the standings than them, and earlier season issue that they had. He goes, and this is, and I quote from Stefan Castle, "We just had to get back to the drawing board and have some tough conversations. We were very honest with each other, especially given the trajectory of their season." And he goes, where we could end up, But what he was saying, and this is a sentiment that's been shared by other Spurs players when they're addressing the media, is that they had some tough conversations behind the scenes when they were losing to lesser teams, getting blown out or squandering 19-point leads. Like, they were calling each other out. They were cursing at each other and, telling each other to play better, and I think that's helped because it's a communication thing, right? If you want your teammates to get better, sometimes they need to get called out and you need to get embarrassed. So you know what? Right. You don't do that anymore. Play with some heart. Go out there, do the best that you can, because at the end of the day, you don't know when you're going to have be in the same position again, right? We talk about, hey, how many times are you going to be in the NBA Finals? How many times are you going to be the second seed in the West? Don't squander it. Play your best,
How many times are y'all going to be healthy at this point? I mean, there are very few injuries, knock on wood, when it comes to it. The numbers that we were talking about, Joe, is that Wemby's up for a 5-year extension. The max is $252 million, which is basically $50.4 million per year. However, if he makes all NBA first or second or third team, if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, the contract goes from $252 to $303. So a difference between $50 million a year and $60 million a year. You better believe there's going to be no low management of this guy. He wants to win Defensive Player of the Year so he can get that money, Joe, get that bag. That's a beautiful thing. Amen Thompson, they're talking about Amen Thompson, the Houston Rockets, being eligible for $50 million. Money. I mean, that's just how it rolls, baby. If you want to have the max deal, there's the max and then there's the super max. He needs to qualify for the super max by playing all these games the rest of the way. But Joe, you look at the standings. Remember that whole bunch up that there was where it was like, man, only 1 or 2 games separates the Spurs from the 2 spot to the 5 spot. That doesn't exist anymore, Joe. The standings are showing that right now the Spurs at a 39-16 record have a 4-game lead over the Rockets in the loss column, 5-game lead over the Denver Nuggets and the LA Lakers in the loss column, and a 6-game lead over Minnesota in the loss column. The Spurs, 2.5 games behind Oklahoma City. Rockets and Denver are 7 games. So it's not this 5-horse race down the stretch to see who's going to be jockeying a position for 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's now who's going to be 1 and 2, and who's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what's going on right now, Joe. Because you look at it, Joe, they've played 55 games.
Yeah, they're all good stats. They're all good stats. The only one that I care about, are they going to get out of that first round, or are they going to show their bellies, much like you showed the Jackals? They're going to roll over and show their belly.
27 games left in the season, Joe. 27 games. If you say that they're going to win tomorrow night against Sacramento, which is one of the worst teams in basketball, in fact, the worst team in the Western Conference.
15-game losing streak is what they have going right now.
Right. So that would put the Spurs at 40 and 16.
And that would put them at what? An 8-game winning streak. They can really go for a 10-game win streak, right? So they need to go ahead and beat the Kings tomorrow. Then after that, that's the big game against the Pistons. That's
if
they can win that one.
If the Spurs won last night's game, they go 40 and 16, and they go 500 the rest of the way, Joe.
They still get into play-in.
No. If they go 500 the rest of the way, Joe, they'd have 53 wins on the season.
Yeah, it's still good. That's a good record.
They're on track right now for 58, Joe. They're on track for 58.
I think they were on track for 58, but I think realistically they're probably going to be like 53.6, maybe 54 games if they keep on with their current trajectory. Because I put it like this. The only reason I say they're not going to probably get 58 wins is because there's going to be some load management, especially as you start getting in the tail end of the season, which they might drop some games. And that's just because they want to go ahead and rest certain players to keep them healthy for the postseason. So I get that. But the Spurs can actually go on a 10-game win streak. This is something that they haven't done in quite some time, if that in fact does happen. Right. But if they can get that win against the Pistons, Mike, that sends a big message.
Big message. That's a very good point.
That means we here, mama. We made it.
Everyone talking about Oklahoma's schedule down the stretch. I mean, they've got Detroit twice. There's a stretch. This is the end of the season for the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is the last 10, 11 games. The Sixers, Boston, Chicago, Knicks, Pistons, Lakers, Jazz, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Suns. Just a bunch of good teams. I mean, and I'm not saying that Oklahoma City is worse than them. Oklahoma City is better than every single one of those teams. But the thing is, Joe, is that they've been playing 500 ball against teams with losing records recently. Right now, Oklahoma City has an easy game tonight. They have the Brooklyn Nets, Cleveland, Toronto, and Detroit up next. And not only are they – so look at Detroit, Joe. Detroit plays the Spurs on Monday, the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday. We're going to know who this Detroit team is come Wednesday night, because we'll see how they do against the two top teams in the West. Are they really legit, or are the two Western Conference teams gonna thump them? Because both of those games are in Detroit.
You know what I'm looking forward to? If the Spurs beat the Detroit Pistons right on Monday, and Mike comes in here on Tuesday and it's like, you know what? That's the Spurs. I knew they were gonna win. You know what? They beat the Pistons on their home court. Whatever. Good.
Yeah,
you're gonna be on one. Are you gonna go honking down Conroe there if the Spurs win with your Spurs flag hanging out the truck?
Oh,
well, you can put it right there. Now that your mirror is broken, you can just put the flagpole right there.
And it won't be fixed until Wednesday. It says Samson says, Mike, if they hit 58 wins, where does that put that team as far as single season turnarounds? Well, remember, famously, they went from 26 and 56 back in the David Robinson era to 56 and 26 the following year. So that was a 30-game turnaround. It wouldn't be as dramatic, but it's pretty damn close to it all.
That was at that time. That was the biggest turnaround in NBA history, right, for a team.
Yeah. Where did they go? They went 26 and 36, and then they went 61 and 21.
Yeah, they went some crazy, dude.
I'll look that up real fast. You have JHNSB saying nobody's scared of the Thunder. It's the T-Wolves to worry about.
Exactly.
There are some feisty teams out there, but the Spurs as are a 2 seed won't have to worry about the T-Wolves.
There's some teams out there. You got to actually look at the Clippers too, because the Clippers are starting to gain some steam, man. They've been playing a lot better lately. But you have teams like the Clippers, you have the Timberwolves, you have the Denver Nuggets that are all, up there. Especially Denver, they have that pedigree where they won it all before, and they have the Joker. That could be a big difference maker in the playoffs because his passing ability goes unsung a lot of times. Like, his court vision to find the open player, right? His open teammate. It's really damn good, Mike. He's done some passes where I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame one day, no doubt, no doubt.
Well, yeah, Kawhi Leonard is like like Steph Curry in the sense that any given game they can go off and just dominate.
Yeah.
It's just, can they dominate 7 games or in a 7-game series? By the way, I was looking up the Spurs record. They were 21-61 before they got David Robinson. Then they went to 56-26, a 35-game turnaround. So it's impossible to get a 35-game turnaround if you're the Spurs this year. But there are, as you mentioned, Joe, some feisty teams out there. You know, Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard. They have these puncher's chances type of players. Steph Curry with the Warriors. Puncher's chance on any given game if they could just get hot. Devin Booker with the Suns, the Mexican assassin. People are like, they didn't realize he's Mexican American.
His mama's a Latina. That's why they're saying that.
That's right. But
I was going to tell you one thing too, Mike. I look at teams, and one of the teams that can be sneaky at times that can give the Spurs fits, and I think would be a good matchup for them if they had them in the first round, would be the Golden State Warriors. Golden State plays with the high level. And like we've always said before, we did the comparisons to the coaching because Steve Kerr has more experience right now than Mitch Johnson and is famously known for making adjustments because he's cut from the Coach Pop pedigree, right? The coaching tree. I think that would be a good test for the young Spurs should they draw Golden State in a first round matchup. I'm not saying that Golden State would actually beat them. I'm just saying I think there would be a hard-nosed series for the Spurs. It'd be a good test for them to show them what's needed to get past the first round and what's waiting for them in the second.
Can I one up you on that?
Yeah.
I want that to happen. I need that to happen.
I kind of do too.
Because Draymond plays Wemby exceptionally well.
Yeah, on
defense. And Draymond jaws at him and they start clawing at each other. And Draymond has said after the fact that he likes Wemby's ability to not back down. Yeah, it's easy to push him around because you outweigh him. He might be taller than you, but you outgirth him. That it's easy. Pause.
Oh.
So you know what I'm talking about. He's a wider dude, right? You outmuscle him, right? You push him around. You get in his face. You try to rattle him up, right? That would be good for Wemby to do that.
I wanted to play this
in the playoff
series.
Let me play a video for you, because the video that I found, we're talking about Draymond and all that, and this video that I had downloaded the other day, I took it straight off of Facebook. It's Shaq, the big podcast, right? And he's talking with his other host there, and it's the Melo's on there too, and they're talking about that incident that Wemby, when Wemby went up against Draymond, and they're just talking about Wemby in general. So let's hear what they have to say, Mike.
What do you think of Wemby?
We've never seen nothing like that.
We haven't seen anything like that since you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, statistical anomaly.
Never seen anything.
He did it between the legs, behind the back, step back.
Evolution of the game.
With grace.
We've never seen it.
What was Draymond doing? Why was he guarding them in that play? Why do that to yourself?
Because you know why?
Because like how they used to have, like, it's like being at the Nickelodeon Kid Choice Awards and you're under the bucket and you get slimed, but you don't have to do
Draymond's is a great post defensive player.
He really is. Like, he stopped a lot of big guys. Yeah.
Great, like, elite post defensive player. Right? So he knows nobody's going down there on a night-to-night basis.
No, but it was just triggering for me, like, because as someone who was bullied.
It was triggering for him, too, to be like, damn, now you ain't supposed to be down here. You're supposed to be over there.
Yeah.
And then he did the thing, and to also be cursed at in French in a foreign language.
Yeah, yes.
It's just too much.
It was.
Too much.
It was bad.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I wanted to text him on that play. I was like, ooh. I mean, but I could respect Wemby for stepping up.
So that was from the big podcast with Shaq and Melo.
Stepping up. You hear that because that wasn't happening his rookie year. His rookie year, Wemby was allowing himself to get beaten up. And then what was he doing? Yeah. Letting it happen. And no one was stepping up to defend Wemby. Wemby doesn't have somebody defending him this year. But at the same time, you push him, he's going to push back. You scratch him, he's going to claw back. That's the evolution there. And you know what, Joe? Whether or not the two biggest things for me this year is this. He's been relatively healthy. His three-point shooting is now north of 36% for the season, so that's where you need him to be. He doesn't take as many three-point shots, He's more selective on what he's doing defensively. He has a better basketball IQ defensively, where he's not trying to block every shot. If he can't block it, he's just trying to alter it. And he's not trying to get 15 blocks per game. He's trying to get the 5 or 6 he can get pretty easily. It's an evolution. It's a more mature Wemby that we've seen out there. And the dude's only 21 years old, Joe. You saw what he's doing with the crowd, with the drums. And as much as we make fun of the Jackals, we see what he's doing with that. And this is now Wemby's team. Yes, he has complementary pieces around him, an all-star in De'Aaron Fox and Castle and Harper and all those other guys that fill in their roles, Keldon and Cornette. But he doesn't have to do everything, and that's fun to watch, Joe. He can just simply be the leader of the team, not be everything about that team. He doesn't have to be LeBron. He doesn't have to be Giannis. And I don't think we were expecting that. And that just shows that they're putting together a very, very good roster over there. And as people have mentioned, this is just a deep-ass team.
Yeah.
It's just a deep team.
Carolina was calling me just right now. I was telling her I'm on the show. I was like, girl, do you forget that I do the show at 10 o'clock, from 10 to about 11:30.
I apologize. Wemby's 22 years old.
Yeah, he's 22, Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't do today? Because I usually do this on Fridays. You know what? I'm going to play it for you all anyway. Because it's Friday. And what do you say? It's Friday and I'm broke.
Oh, it's Friday and I'm broke. My check better not be short.
That check better not be short today because it's Friday. And you know what? We don't give a damn. And you know what? Shout out to Steve Hahn, man. Steve Hahn's trying to make a comeback here, dude. He's going to be doing a podcast here soon. He's getting everything ready so he can come back on, maybe doing the podcast. I don't know if he's going to do a live stream or not, but it'd be cool just to hear what he has to say and what he's been up to after all these years after the 99.5 Kiss morning show.
That was a great show, man. That was a great show. I know Billy Madison holds it down now, but back in the day, Lyle and Hahn, man, they ruled the airwaves for a long, long time. Hyman asked a very interesting question. He says, "Who is our closer in a Game 7?" The answer is
Fox.
I would say whoever has the shot, man. If it's Fox, if it's Castle, if it's Harper, if it's Wemby, I don't care. I honestly don't care when it comes to it all.
Yeah.
But we know the person that's not going to be taking the shot is Jeremy Sohan because Sohan got shipped to the Knicks. He debuted yesterday. Some Knicks fans really liked him yesterday. He tried stopping Cade Cunningham. He got burned on a 3-point shot by Cade. Cade put him on skates, and then another play a couple minutes later, he actually blocked Cade Cunningham's shot as Cade Cunningham was trying to drive in for a layup.
You want to see his impressive stat line from last night, Mike? I'm going to show it to you.
10 minutes played.
No. Let's go ahead and see what he did last night. There it is, Mike.
Knicks debut, 10 minutes played. He was 1 for 1 shooting, 2 points. That one bucket was a dunk. He had 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. That block on Cade Cunningham. I mean,
he is who we thought he was. Gone.
I mean, and it's funny because you go on to the Knicks fan pages, right? You know how we have Spurs Twitter. There is Knicks Twitter out there. And I made a point to go out there last night to see it, and that was the block on Cade Cunningham with the orange and blue hair. This is Cade driving in, getting swatted by Sohan. It was a good play by Sohan. And Knicks fans are like, this is the kind of guy that we need, a high-energy guy who can guard multiple positions and blah, blah, blah. And intangibles. I'm like, dude, I've heard all that stuff, man. I've heard all that. That dude was single for a reason, okay? He had no home in San Antonio for a reason. JHSB says, and the crowd goes mild.
You know what was funny, man? I think it was Elias that had sent something in the group chat to us. And I was looking at that tweet that they had put out on the X, right? And the funny thing was the comments, dude. Spurs fans still bitter about Jeremy going over there and playing with the Knicks, kind of ruining the fun for Knicks fans. They're like, well, y'all better be ready because we got rid of him for a reason. And they're like, we try to tell you after his stat line came out and whatnot. I'm just like, they're like, here he comes. He's going to be shipped off to the Shanghai Sharks after this season. I'm just like, oh, God, man. Here we go.
Joe, I'm looking at some pretty interesting stats right now when it comes to point differential. Like how much do you outscore your opponents by? In the Eastern Conference, the number one team with point differential is the Detroit Pistons. They outscore their opponents by an average of 8.1 points per game.
Yeah.
The Celtics outscore their opponents by 7. In the Western Conference, the Thunder by 11.7 points per game. The Spurs by 6.4. But then you look at it, Spurs have won 7 in a row. Oklahoma City's lost 6 out of 11.
Mm-hmm.
I think that 24-1 start skews everything, Joe, because like, what have you done for me the last 15, 20 games?
What have you done for me lately? Like that Janet Jackson song.
Ooh, yeah. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Here are the standings right now.
Latest
If the
standings.
season was to end right now, the play-in teams, the 3, 4, 5, 6, the play-in teams would be Phoenix, Golden State, Clippers, and the Blazers. So if you had a play-in tournament right now, Golden State would go on the road to play Phoenix. The winner would advance to the playoffs as the 7th seed, and the loser would play the winner of the Clippers, who would host the Portland Trailblazers. The Spurs more than likely would be playing Phoenix in the first round of the playoffs. And everyone's saying avoid the Timberwolves, which I am more fearful of the Timberwolves than I am the Lakers right now. But get this, Joe. If the Spurs finish as the 2 seed, the way the standings are looking like they are right now, Joe,
Yep.
they would avoid Denver. They would avoid Minnesota. This is threading the needle, Joe, in a very Spursy way of, can the Spurs take out Phoenix in the first round? Damn sure they can, Joe. Phoenix ain't going to win 4 out of 7.
Nah, they'll fold quick.
And then the second round, the Spurs would play Houston. The Spurs would have home court advantage against Houston. Houston without a point guard. I'm just saying that if that's the first 2 rounds, Joe, I have a lot of confidence in that. The opposite's true, Joe. I wouldn't want to see necessarily the Clippers or Minnesota in the first round and then play Denver in the second round and then Oklahoma City. That path is too tough, Joe. But if we can New England Patriots our way through the playoffs,
God,
because look at the path that Oklahoma City would have to go through. Oklahoma City would have to go through probably Golden State or the Clippers and then Denver. That's a harder path to the Western Conference Finals than it is the Spurs going through Phoenix and Houston. Just saying.
The harder path is trying to go through the Minnesota Timberwolves, right? You don't really want to match up with them. Going through the Nuggets, having to match up with them. Those are 2 tough outs. The first round of the Spurs get paired with either the Suns. I'm not too afraid of. Gets interesting with Golden State. Even Clippers, I'm like, the Clippers, like they said, they did get rid of Harden. They don't have Zubac no more. But the Clippers are still in that race. You can't discount Kawhi going off as he did like in the All-Star game. And that could be what the Clippers still won here in San Antonio.
Right.
So, I mean, you have those scenarios that can happen. Either way, the Spurs in the first round, it's not going to be real easy for them. I believe that they'll get past said team probably that they have in front of them. The only thing is it's going to be a teaching tool for them. They're going to see how physical it gets in the postseason, and they're going to get tired. Every round that you go through, it gets tougher and tougher and tougher. They're going to be beat up. They're going to be beat up if they make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, if you look at the standings, Joe, it tells a really big story here because the top 4 teams right here, Oklahoma City, Houston, Spurs, Denver, they're legit teams, right? There's Swiss Army knives with multiple scoring options with multiple stars. You look at 5 and beyond, can Doncic go off for 50? Can Ant-Man go off for 50? Can Devin Booker go off for 50? Can Curry go off for 50? Can Kawhi go off for 50? See, 1 through 4 are legit teams. 5 through 9 right now are just punch your chance teams where you have to have lightning in a bottle and you need to have the star player go off, because if the star player is going off and no one else is doing anything around them, or if the star player has an off night, they're not going to win. That's the difference. Because Wemby can go off and shoot 4 for 16 and the Spurs can still
Yeah.
win by 10.
What
Because
does it
that's how
matter
good Castle.
if their stars go off for 50 and they still lose the game? It
Right.
was for naught, you know?
Right.
It was for naught. And I was going to tell you this. This is I don't know if I want to play this or not. Did you see the video of Gilbert Arenas talking about the Spurs?
I saw the transcript, but if you want to play it, Gilbert Arenas, is a Spurs hater. He is what it is.
I mean, he's kind of sounds like me, Mike. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, because you are a Spurs hater.
I ain't a Spurs hater. I'm a realist. Realist.
I don't have Spurs getting out of the first round. The threat will be Denver, Houston, and Minnesota. They have gamers. They have the talent to compete with OKC.
That stuck.
Gil, your Wi-Fi appears to be janky today, sir.
Y'all froze up, huh?
No, you froze up.
You froze up, boy.
I think they're the same as when everyone thought Memphis was going to get out of the first round when they were number 2 or 3. And same thing with Sacramento when it was 2 and 3. Regular season's cool, but the playoffs is very different, and you have to have stars to give the ball to in the playoffs. And Spurs don't know who their go-to guy, who their star is. And Wemby don't play like that yet, and they don't play Fox.
Yeah, I'm glad he froze. He needed to start.
That's where I stop it, Mike. Guys, we got sponsors, bro.
Yeah, that's a stupid take. It's a stupid take, and I understand your take because you're saying your take was better than his take. Your take was, you need to have the adversity and you need to climb the mountain and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's different than, well, Wemby sucks, which is basically what he's saying.
They don't have. He's saying they don't have a star to go to. They do. His name is Victor Wembanyama.
I know. So that was a lame take, man.
And then his internet froze to top it all off. So they were making fun of him, kind of like we had our issues earlier this week with YouTube. And they're making fun of you and me. They're like, Mike is that Conroe internet, that cricket internet.
I have T-Mobile internet, everybody.
Cricket. You know what's funny is that your internet works okay, right? Like right now?
Yeah.
Because there's no rain. But as soon as the rain starts falling.
It starts acting like DirecTV. That's funny.
Yep.
Hey, let's give some love to PF Chang's Lock and that. Oh, by the way, you know what? Let's give love to Hard Rock first because we need to show our poster. We are 1 week away, 8 days away from partying with you guys. Our listeners, please come out to our 500th episode party over at Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
It's going to be on 111 West Crockett Street, which is on the Riverwalk.
We'll be giving away these bottle openers here.
Very nice.
Some other goodies.
I'll be there. Joe will be there. Spernandez will be there. Chica will be there. And we're going to have some special guests as well.
You get your stickers, your Miguelito
stickers. You'll probably have a couple of free drinks along the way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time out there at the 500th episode party.
I like this one. Good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
You know what? I need to make another one that says they're just animals.
No, because that's a sports starism. That's not that's not a Area 210ism.
It's funny though.
You have the ole 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 stupid.
Oh God, dude.
That's classic.
I put that one up on the chat. Let me see if I can find it. That was hilarious, man. I like the images.
It's going to be 88 degrees that day in San Antonio.
Here you go, Mike. There's your favorite one. That's it.
Ishai Go says he's going to walk over to the Hard Rock for the party and make it happen, dude. After the party, after the party, it's the after party. Little R. Kellyism.
You're going to be telling them to go ahead and put R. Kelly on? You know what? Put it on, Joe. Go pay him $5 so I can sing R. Kelly.
I believe I can fly. No, Chica and I are asking, where are we going to end the night? And I'm thinking, Be Kind Rewind. Listen to some 90s music, baby.
Look at Mario Cavazos, No Mames, way. Wasn't Falas Perez the first sponsor of the Aloha City podcast before they went bankrupt? If you know, you know, man.
That's a store. I know the store. I know the store, but I never once in my entire life stepped foot at that store or Solo Surf. Never once stepped foot in either of those stores. I don't know why.
And look at JHNSB says Frank Harris cheated on you all, man. Whose podcast did he come out on? And we got some stuff though that we're going to be giving out courtesy of Cuts by Jones. Mr. Jones here was gracious enough to donate some things that we can give out at the party here at the event on the 28th. So we're going to be showcasing that too.
Apparently Frank was in the building. That's nothing wrong with that, man. We love Rudy J and Mike Taylor in this place.
Yeah,
We got nothing but love for those guys. Nothing but love for those guys. But let's give our love to Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
The Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio is Riverwalk dining at its best. With great scenic views along with its amazing collection of rock memorabilia, there is something for everyone. Enjoy happy hour weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $8 and $10 appetizers, $5 domestic drafts, and $6 craft import drafts at the bar only. Try some of the Hard Rock Cafe's legendary steak burgers, or my personal favorite, such as the grilled salmon or baby back ribs. Make sure to visit the third level and enjoy the DJ as you take in the city skyline. The Hard Rock Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Gotta get myself a stiff drink when I'm out there, Joe. Again, the Area 210 podcast is powered by Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Party the 28th. It's a Saturday night starting at 6 p.m. I'll be making my way over from the Alamo Dome because I'm going to be hosting an event over at the Dome. So I'll be working most of the day, but I'll make my way to the party. We're going to have a simulcast of some sort of Q&A. Fernandez will be there. Will the belt be there? We shall see. But very nice. We're looking forward to being out there with everybody. Go ahead and everyone get this poster, this advertisement. Put it on your Twitter account. Put it on your Facebook account. Let everybody know what we're doing. It's gonna be fun times, man.
We're gonna have to do that, Mike. We're gonna put it out there, and on social media, so we can share it on Facebook. I'll send it to you today, and that way we can share it across our social media channels.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it starting on Monday because I didn't want to do it today, and everybody think that it's gonna be this weekend. It's the following weekend, and we have to start ramping up our special guests and all that stuff, locking down those RSVPs. But it's gonna be a fun time out there.
Look
hey,
at that.
Joe.
Cavasso says, "Stop the cap. You never went to a solo serve." Shut up. Shut up.
Wait, I went to Mervin's.
Marvin's. My mom used to call it Marvin's because, with Latina accent, I would say, "Mom, it's Mervin's." Mervin's. Yes, that says it right. Marvin's.
I saw this meme that's saying Mexicans be out there asking for chicken nuggets, and it was spelled like SHINOGGETS, chicken nuggets.
Oh, the other thing my mom used to say that was hard for some reason Latinas to say that have a really heavy accent, Jeep, right?
Yeah.
Used to say Jip. Jip. I remember me and my sister would be laughing our ass off. Me like, what was it again, Mom? What kind of car was it? It was a Jip.
That's funny.
Oh God, dude. But good things happening here for the Spurs. You're a San Antonio Spurs fan. You're excited about the postseason coming up. But you know what else I was excited about yesterday, Mike? I got to tell you, man, this was making for some great sports. And that was the ladies hockey, man. Shout out to USA Hockey, the USA women's hockey team, Mike. They put on an amazing performance. I cannot show the highlights because if I do, they're going to
the Olympics, man. You can't do the Olympics
off of YouTube. Yeah, we can only show pictures, and I got them out here. Here we go. So USA, man, they were able to go ahead and send the game into overtime. So it was late, right, in that final quarter against Canada. And somehow, some way, the ladies hockey, USA Hockey did not give up. They were able to get that goal, and they were able to send it into overtime. And then, because they gave themselves a chance, they beat Canada, dude.
That's
and
amazing.
it was amazing, man.
That's their sport.
Amazing, dude. I was there watching, and I was just like, Hillary Knight was the one that sent it into overtime, and they're calling her Captain America. Here's the reaction that they had from Wisconsin, right? Which they were kind of showing, the game over there. And I can show this because it's not actual Olympic footage. So I'll go ahead and share this with you.
USA.
It was great, man. It was a great game. And I was very happy for the ladies, and seeing them take the podium there and seeing them get that gold medal and hoist it up. And, you hear the national anthem being played and whatnot. It was a great moment in sports, right, for the Winter Olympics. I can say that I actually watched this happening in real time. And
I like this. I like this graphic here saying that the champions every 4 years, that they basically, it's either been Canada or the U.S. U.S. has won 3 since 1998, 3 gold medals. Canada's won 5, so it's truly a rivalry between the two nations. Did you see that? I think it's Norway that leads the Winter Olympics in gold medal counts. That's crazy. I mean, I guess so. There's a lot of snow out there. Hey, Joe, I'm looking at Shams Charania, his report from yesterday talking about the January competition committee for the NBA.
Oh, I saw that.
And it was talking about their ways that they're debating how to prevent tanking from happening.
Culling
Now,
that.
it's not doing all these things at one time. It's picking these as potential solutions. Want to go through them real fast, Joe?
Yeah.
It says that first round picks can only be protected top 4 or top 14. So, whenever you have a trade going out there, it says, we're going to trade you a first round pick, but it's going to be like the Spurs in 2027 have Atlanta's unprotected, right? But there's sometimes you get a first rounder that is top 10, top 15 protected. We had that one from Charlotte that never conveyed as part of the DeJounte Murray trade. Lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline. So basically it says that you will know the lottery odds February 12th. Interesting. Okay. It says no longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years.
Yeah.
So
that would have been like the Spurs.
The Spurs getting Wemby, Castle, and Harper in back-to-back years.
Was it
would not
4?
be allowed?
Was it 1, 4, and 2?
So one of these is saying teams cannot pick top 4 in the year. Oh, okay, in back-to-back years, right? Teams cannot pick top 4 after making the conference finals. So you know how the Spurs and the Thunder both have lottery picks potentially this upcoming lottery? It's saying, hey, if you made the Western Conference Finals, Spurs or Oklahoma City, you cannot be in the top 4. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. So it's saying we're going to collect the last 2 years to combine those to see who's going to be in the lottery. Or just a flat odds like back in the day. Back in the 80s, remember when the Knicks got Patrick Ewing? Everybody had a 1 in 14 chance of winning.
Yeah. And I put everything up here from Shams, directly from Shams up here on the screen. It says what they're thinking of doing. And I don't know if they're going to be in combination or it's going to be one or the other or how they're going to do that. But they're trying to cull the tanking, because it's become rampant across the NBA. And tanking doesn't always work, but again, it just throws your name in the hat, right? You get to put your name in there. You got to get, what do you call that? The raffle ticket. You get to put a raffle ticket in the hat, and hopefully your team gets chosen. It's worked for the Spurs, and Spurs fans say, oh, the team doesn't tank. They don't tank. They were tanking, dude. When they got Wemby, they were tanking. They were avidly tanking, dude. You can't say that they were not. They got Duncan. They were tanking. So it's not like the Spurs are immune to it and they're like, they were built, not brought. I mean, you can say that back in the day, but not in today's NBA. Players are going to go to the team that's going to pay them the most money and where they feel they have the most opportunity. Look at Wemby coming up with a hefty payday here. And it could go anywhere from $252 million, right, to extend him all the way up past $300 million, Mike. That would be a first for Spurs in Spurs history, for a player to get paid that much money.
It would be. I'm looking at the projected lottery right now.
Yeah.
The dumbest franchise in the NBA right now has to be the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, they're dumb, dude. Yeah.
The Pelicans traded their first round draft pick from this year, a stacked draft lottery. They traded their pick to Atlanta to get Derek McQueen at like number 13 in the draft last year. Now, Derek Queen is a very good player, and I liked him in college a lot. Averaging 12.7 rebounds as a rookie. That's good. That's admirable.
Yeah.
But they're going to pass up the chance on getting Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsta, Carlos Boozer, Kingston Flemings, Caleb Wilson, because they wanted Derek Queen. So stupid, Joe. Imagine that Atlanta having a top 3 pick based on New Orleans being one of the worst teams in the NBA is hysterical.
And I finally saw a stat somewhere about Zion Williamson, right? And they were saying this is one of the few seasons that he's played more than 30 games for the Pelicans thus far. I mean, at what point do you move on from him? The Pelicans still hang on to him. Like, get rid of the guy. He's obviously damaged goods. Get what you can for him. Hit the reset button. And the stupid thing was that the Pelicans had already done that, right? And they had a good team. They had a good team going for them. I thought, okay, Pelicans are looking pretty good. And then they go ahead and make the trade and just dismantle the team completely. They gut them. And I'm like, what are you all doing, man? They had an opportunity to get rid of Zion, but they held on to him too long. Chat that we have coming in here. All right, the other one here.
Here comes the money.
That's from our friend Matt Gomez. Thank you, Matt. $4.99 super chat incoming, Mike. Soccer season is back. MLS starts this week. 2 weeks SAFC. Can't wait to get Necio again. Preseason this weekend for SAFC, and I know that on the 7th of March is when they have their
about the Barrios, and they're basically asking the question, who's going to win the fight? And they ask the experts who they think is going to win, right? You can get betting odds, Mario Barrios plus 195 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
The predictions are in. CBS Sports believes that Garcia is going to win a unanimous decision. Go the full distance, to go the full 12. Now I got something to do Saturday night.
Yeah, it looks like the stream fixed itself. So there you go. Y'all don't want the stream to freeze. Give us more money.
We do have the parking spots in the very first. Dane was a big part of it. He passed away. He was also in Euphoria, as you can see. He died at the age of 53 of Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. And Patrick Dempsey was on a podcast the other day saying that Dane was not looking good, that his condition had worsened, and that he had
that excerpt that he had from that interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they had to ask him.
Yeah, those aren't the files that people don't want to read, dude. I think people are more interested in the Epstein files than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just it's a distraction, you know?
Yeah. Very nice. I was just watching the news right now because, I'm in finance. If you want to show my number as well, 210-508-0369, 210-508-0369. Talk all things investments. I'm interested in the stock market today because, I do stocks. I do investment accounts, rollovers. If you have a 401k to roll over, an old IRA, you want to start something, give me a call, life insurance, long-term care. But I want to know how the market was going to react because today was a big ruling in the Supreme Court as to whether Trump's tariffs, remember how he said, I'm going to tariff the entire world, right? Even penguins who are on this one island he was going to tariff, right? Yeah. And the Supreme Court came down, checked and balanced him, said, no, it's illegal. So guess who's going to get their money, Joe? Guess who's going to fight for their money? Costco. Costco was one of the ones that was fighting the Trump administration, saying that they wanted their money back from the tariffs. And now they're probably going to get their money back, man. So let's see how the market's doing today. I haven't checked since 2 hours ago. Let's see. How has the market reacted? The market's flat. Dow is down, NASDAQ and the S&P are up. For the most part, it's flat. Interesting.
Oh, look at that. News from the women's curling team for the United States.
What happened?
Apparently, they're going to be meeting Canada in the bronze medal game for a shot, first Olympic medal.
You, Sean, and Alex were killing me the other day with your excitement over curling.
It's fascinating, man. It's fascinating.
Stop.
No, bro. That's where it's at, dude. That's where it's at.
It's so stupid, Joe.
They even showed it at the big screen over there at Little Woodrow's.
I'd rather watch bowling. That is so stupid. I guess I'm going to watch the fight tomorrow night. So we got some sports tomorrow night. We got Barrios against King Ryan. We've got Spurs game against Kings. We have a lot to talk about, Joe.
Some things going on. It's going back to Choppy and Joe freezing, the Wolf of Conroe. That's what they're going to call you, the Wolf of Conroe, Mike.
Very nice.
Ooh,
well, next week's going to be kind of a dicey thing for me, Joe, because I'm going to be, you know what I'm going to do, Joe? I'm going to look at my itinerary for my meeting in North Carolina. So I'm leaving for North Carolina on Monday. Let's take a look here. I get in at 7 p.m. We have a 7 p.m. thing. So I'll probably be able to do the show from the airport on Monday. So I'll probably do the show from Monday at the airport. Tuesday, I can probably do the back half of the show, and Wednesday, the back half of the show. So because we're Eastern time frame, I get on a lunch break at 11:45 over there, 10:45 over here.
Yeah.
So I'll need you and Spernandez or a special guest to do the front half of the show, and I'll do the back half of the show with you on Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'll see if I get Mike Mitchell Jr. to come in here and do the show with me, man. Everybody
Nice.
loves him so much.
Nice. And I'll do the back half, Joe. I'll do the back half.
Yeah. I'll see if
Take
I can
some
get
time.
him. And maybe I can bring in some special guests too. You know, we haven't had Mario Cavazos in the studio here. I tried to get him last time, but had issues with the computer. But now that it's fixed, maybe I reach out to Mario and have him come on in, you know?
Do you know who was talking about being on the show yesterday? I was talking to him on the
Sean.
phone.
Sean.
Anthony Pittman. Blast
Pitt,
from the
yeah.
past.
Be great to have Pitt on again. I need to have you and Pitt in the studio together. That's always a good thing.
Very
If
cool,
possible.
man. Hey, well, fellas, we're going to end the show a little bit early, man. I have to head back to San Antonio. I got to get dressed. There's a funeral that I'm going to in San Antonio. One of my clients died. So, very sad day. It's not the funeral. It's the rosary that I need to head out to.
Yeah.
So I got to hit the